welcome back to Heart of the Holte. We're here today to discuss another new signing. It's late at night. It's the only time we could get this done, Dan. But we have signed Emiliano Martinez from Arsenal for a fee that is, including add-ons, around £20 million. First of all, Dan, how are you doing? Second of all, I mean, what a great signing this is.
Yeah, mate. We've got some late night Villa filler action for you all on a really good topic too. We're back to goalkeeper talk. I love these new signings, mate. They get me super excited, and I'm absolutely buzzing about this one too. We'll go into it a little bit more, I'm sure, later in the pod. But no, I'm doing good. I'm delighted by this signing, mate, and I'm sure you are too.
Absolutely, and it's. I think one thing that we can say about this summer transfer window. Obviously, this is going to be a much shorter video for you guys, just like the Cash video and the Watkins video. But, we're going to talk about Martinez because I don't think we've actually talked about him in great detail on the podcast. I think we may have touched on him in the Jack Grealish for England podcast. But Martinez, I mean, the story of the summer, we've had these, it's been going on for a month and a half, 2 months almost. We've been linked with these players. It's been will they, won't they? And Villa are finally getting the men that we've been linked with for the whole summer, Dan. And I think it's really like gratifying to see because a lot of people had pretty much instantaneously written off Dean Smith in not being able to attract players, and he's been the key man in getting all of the players in that we've had so far during this transfer window. So I'm just really happy that we're getting our men that we want, really, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And I think with this one, it's a weird one whereby, if 6 months ago, if this transfer was being done for £20 million, we would have been looking and going, well, who is Emiliano Martinez? We've never heard of him. £20 million seems a lot, and he is a bit of an unknown quantity in that respect. But I think it's important in this, less so with the other signings because they were, household names, so to speak. Emiliano Martinez is, as I said, a bit of an unknown quantity. So I think this is a good opportunity for you and I to fill people in with. You wrote a great article on him, which I'm sure you've got a lot to say on too. But just for people that don't know much about him, so I was doing some looking into Emmy and stuff like that, and he's a goalkeeper, and I was like, I was looking at us, I thought pre-Arsenal, I thought I'd heard of him and thought I was doing something, so I did some digging, and he actually, in one of the first games that we had before we went on that crazy run in the Championship, we won like 10 in a row and got promoted. We had a 0-0 draw at Reading. Town player was at a full strength team. We got a 0-0 draw at Reading. He just signed for Reading. That was on the 2nd of February 2019. He just signed for Reading on deadline day of the January window. That was his first game for Reading, and he was man of the match in his first game for Reading against Villa. So it's sort of nice how that has come full circle. He's actually been at Arsenal since 2010. He's had a whole host of loans, both here and abroad. He's actually played for Wolves the season that we got relegated from the Premier League. He was playing for Wolves. He's been on loan to Getafe. But he's been making appearances for Arsenal since as early as 2012-13. So that's the season where he first came through Arsenal. He was playing in the first team. He actually played a couple of games in the League Cup that season. But, whilst it seems like he's been something of a flash in the pan and has just burst onto the Arsenal scene in the last sort of few months since Bernd Leno's injury. He's actually been playing for Arsenal for sort of 8-9 years now, and has had all these different loans in between, and it makes him a really interesting signing, mate.
It does, and he's played the game in England. Obviously, you've touched on Wolves, Reading. He's played at Getafe, and everybody obviously knows that the very Spanish way of playing football, very expansive. A style that Dean Smith likes to play, and I'm sure over the past few days people have been piling on the Emmy Martinez compilations on YouTube. This man is the real deal when it comes to both shot stopping and distribution. He's honestly incredible, and I think a lot of people will take the signing at face value, which is fair. He's only made 15 Premier League appearances, so I think people who are questioning the fee. It's justified because it's a lot of money. Yeah, in this market, probably not. I think you're looking at, at 20 million for a keeper who, he's 26, but you're going to get a lot of years out of him. The Goalkeepers Union on the podcast, Dan, you're always going to stick up for the goalkeepers. And just to kind of compare with some stats, obviously he's played 15 Premier League appearances. and only conceded 16 goals, which, 1.06 goals average per game, which is not bad by any means, especially when you look at how leaky our defence was, conceding, 69 goals, albeit he had much better defenders in front of him when he was playing. I guess that can be questionable as it was Arsenal, but
Yeah, very true.
You just got to look at that. And, if we compare that to that of Tom Heaton, surprisingly, plays 20 Premier League games for us. It seemed like he, even though we signed him last summer, it just kind of feels like he's been at the club for an eternity. I love it. I don't know. Conceded 33 goals, which was an average of 1.65 goals per 90 minutes of football, which isn't great. But again, you've got to take that with context, that there is, the defence of Mingles and then Concert and Courtney, who've also played, we've got to be honest, weren't really great at times. So that we can't really necessarily look back on Heaton and instantly look at Martinez and think, right, we've got our upgrade. But no, Martinez really caught people's eyes in the Championship for Reading, because they were a Reading side that were pretty much in free fall, have been for a while now, really, since they kind of dropped out of the Premier League, probably 5 years ago, wasn't it now? They've kind of been languishing in the Championship and not really going anywhere. But Martinez really turned it around for them. And yeah, he's not made a lot of appearances, but I think for the fee in the current market, and certainly for what I've seen of Martinez, I think this is possibly one of the best bits of business that we've done this summer, Dan.
Yeah, for sure, mate. And I think that the stats are where you can really hammer home just how good this signing is. So, if you're comparing him to other goalkeepers in the Premier League, and I think it's a little hard when you were just talking there to take those stats in isolation, looking at goals conceded per game and stuff like that, because it's so context dependent. And I don't think that often reflects on a goalkeeper how many goals they concede per game, because a goalkeeper is only as good as the defence that's in front of them. And Arsenal's hasn't been great for a long time. So we sort of take it out. So since Ben Leno's injury, which is against Brighton, Martinez had a better save success percentage, which is how clean a save is in terms of, whether they're parrying shots or spinning them, than any other goal in the Premier League last season. Saves per 90, he's making 3.97, which puts him second. His total save percentage was the second best in the league. Catches per 90, second best in the league. Ball recoveries per 90 is fourth in the league. And the saves from shots in the box, which is one I think is really important for us, considering our league that in, he was first. 71% of shots from inside the box he saves, which is nuts. That is absolutely mental. Which tells you all you need to know about how good this guy is. But what I think is just important is how we saw those beautiful scenes after he won the FA Cup final with Arsenal, where he was on FaceTime to his family. He was in tears, just the overall emotion, starting from the bottom, having all those loans, Rotherham, Sheffield Wednesday, Reading. I mean, he even played for Wolves, God bless him.
Poor guy.
He'd come right to the top, won the FA Cup, and there's this beautiful footage of him when he's on the FaceTime to his family. He's got his winner's medal, he's showing it down the camera. He then just won the Community Shield with Arsenal, obviously, just starting in that game too. So he's trusted. Arsenal fans are devastated. I've got mates that are Arsenal fans. I've been speaking to them. Just search Emiliano Martinez is on Twitter, and it's just a wash with Arsenal fans saying how gutted they are to lose him, that he's one of the better backup keepers in the league. He really won them over with his performances during lockdown and going into that FA Cup, and the stats back it up, mate. And I think, as you said, with the age that he is, he's got a long way to go. I think he carries both experience and a lot of potential to go deep into the future with Aston Villa. I think it's a good feat, and I'm really, really happy to have Emi on board.
Absolutely. And just finally, as I kind of touched on how important it was with the passes, he averages 27 passes per 90 in the Premier League in his Premier League appearances, and with a 67% pass success rate, which a lot of passes that goalkeepers try very rarely come off. And, I think we can forgive Heats for not being an Edison type keeper. But, I believe only 52% of Heaton's passes are accurate. So, when you compare that to Martinez, it's great. And it fits the profile. Again, we're fine. Dean Smith's getting his men. It's fitting the style of football that he wants. Dean Smith's boys going to be challenging for Europe, if you believe what people are saying on Twitter. I think that's a good note to end this video on, Dan. We have signed Emi Martinez. What a goalkeeper. And I'm just really excited for the season now. Obviously, the first round of fixtures have been played, or at least half of them anyway, at the time we're recording this. It feels weird not watching Villa, but I'm glad that we've got this extra week and a half to go, just so as we can get more prepared. And obviously, because we've made this signing, that's more time for Emmy on the ground. So hopefully there'll be more to follow, Dan. Hopefully that Villa will get a bit of business done, and we can be back having these late night Villa chats as we have been very busy recently. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button and comment your thoughts below on the signing of Emi Martinez. And before we go, I'd also like you guys to let us know in the comments what footballers we both look like, because there was someone in the last podcast, someone said that Dan looked like Joe Hart, and another person said he looked like Tom Heaton, and my mom said you look like Dean Smith as well, Dan. Or no, Charlotte, actually. My girlfriend said you look like Dean Smith. So, I mean, he's the gaffer, so I take that as a compliment. But yeah, let us know if there's anyone in the comments below. Just a bit of fun. We'd love to hear that. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and up the Villa. It's the main man, a hero. He's the main leader of the gang. Chester. He's the main leader of the gang now. Chester.